Well, I mean, like,
I gotcha. All right, so there we go. See, look, happy I checked that.
Yeah, it is good. That would have been bad.
Look at technology guy over here. People being like, we can't hear you. Way to go,
is that
idiots.
what someone's, no, good morning from
yeah,
Scott.
well, we fixed it, but no one heard that beginning thing.
Oh, yeah, good point. We're just
All
talking.
they missed was we were lamenting the fact our 7 a.m.
Feels like
drive-ins
Friday.
together.
I know.
Friday, and you know, we've been coming in together for 2 straight weeks, and then you're going to Arizona, and I'm coming by myself. It's going to be real sad.
I'm not happy about it either.
All right, let's get into this. Hold on, sip of water before I knock it over multiple times. All right, here we go.
Well, at least it's not the coffee with no lid.
That's right. It's good looking at it. Though for some reason I don't knock those over.
I know.
It's just the lid. I'm more careless when I know there's a lid. All right. Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. As we've made it to Friday.
TGIF.
We are 1 week from today. You and I will be making our official Super Bowl predictions as we head into Super Bowl weekend.
Well, here's another way to look at that. You're right. We'll do it on the Friday show. But good news, guys. Saturday, got Go Birds Radio.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, and Sunday. Oh, my God. We're going to be on the radio on Super Bowl Sunday.
On Super Bowl Sunday from
us.
10 to 12 Eastern time. We will be on Sports Radio IP, a special Super Bowl edition of the Go Birds pod.
Yeah, you're right. We'll make our predictions there. I lied. Next Friday, we'll just be talking about
talking about the game. But
no, honestly, we are it might be the coolest thing that's ever happened to us is the idea
it's going to be
unbelievable.
We're
going to be doing this show with you guys.
And as always,
WIP on Super Bowl Sunday, man. The day that the Super Bowl will be on WIP.
Yeah.
These two idiots will also be on WIP.
And as always, it doesn't happen without,
Of course not. Yeah. Yes, there is no Go Birds without you, without all of you. Yeah. It's amazing. It's the best. Honestly, my favorite part. We're going to get into Julian Love. We're going to get into setting up next week.
We're just going to talk Eagles.
We're just going to talk Eagles. That's what we do.
You don't even need a topic.
And then sometimes not Eagles. We do both things. I got some Zoe stuff later. We got all kinds of stuff coming.
You haven't even commented on the biggest news of the day.
Your sweet hat you're wearing?
I'm wearing a hat.
I noticed it.
I'm wearing a hat.
Good because you're good in hats.
I do look good in hats. I tweeted. So if you're listening to this on the pod, it's a real good chance to go watch on YouTube because I'm wearing a hat. As I tweeted previously, I discovered recently I look good in hats. But I do think sometimes if you're somebody that never wears a hat and then you wear one, it's almost like aggressively in your face.
It's surprising.
That's what I mean, right? Like I never wear hats. Yeah. So when I wear one, it's almost like a big sign on my forehead being like, hey, look, I'm wearing a hat. Yeah. Whereas I think other people like David Uram always wears a hat.
David Uram always wears a hat.
So if he didn't have a hat on, it'd
be weird that he didn't.
It'd be more casual, right?
I got you. That's good. That's a good call by you.
Thank you. And that was my final thought.
And thank you for coming.
And it was good, yeah.
We are done. We've done a bunch of these in a row. Yeah, we figured we'll just mail this one in. No, seriously, though, to Elliot's point before about the
hat. Yeah.
No, without you. I'm talking about the listeners, not your hat. Elliot, get over yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen without the listeners. And I do think that for me, the coolest thing in this run so far has been the connection with the listeners.
100%.
Is doing these daily pods, is getting the reaction we've gotten, is going out to McSorley's and meeting all these people and doing all these awesome
You'll be going
things.
out next week.
I will be out next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. I don't know
where yet. A real good
yet.
chance to meet James.
Yes, I will let you know where I will be out doing stuff, events, bars, stuff.
If you've always said you want to meet James and you don't do it next week, it's hard to take that seriously. He's going to be at 3 bars.
I think it might be like 5 or 6
5
bars.
or 6 bars over a 3-day span. The week of the Super Bowl. It's hard to really take it seriously at this point.
Come say hi, man.
Yeah, come say hi to James.
Yeah, either way, even if you don't, we love you.
I wish I was going to be there, honestly. It does suck.
It does suck. But you'll come home. We'll be Super Bowl champions together, and we'll get to celebrate. It'll be great. Yeah, who knows? All right, let's start with an ass hat opening his mouth.
Here we go.
And then we'll get to setting up the week and all the good stuff. But like Julian Love, just all right, I'm gonna do it. Earmuffs 1, 2, 3. Shut the fuck up, man. Like I can't say it better than Brandon Graham did. He said it perfectly. People got a lot to say when they're sitting at home watching on their couch, don't they, Julian? Yeah. Julian, what was the final score of your playoff game that you played in here? What was it? 38-7? How'd your coach do, pal? Put some respect on Nick's name. Sorry for hitting the table.
No, it's all right. I think during rants, maybe you're allowed.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, seriously, like, I get it, right? The Eagles have a phenomenal roster. Howie Roseman deserves all the credit in the world. Jalen Hurts deserves all the credit in the world. But, like, it's just like, what are you doing, man?
Well,
like, it's like, I want to say rude, but I feel like
it's definitely rude.
It doesn't encompass everything.
It's 100%. It's 100% rude. I mean, imagine if Nick Sirianni said at the podium, Julian Love's only really good safety because he's surrounded by a ton of talent.
Yeah, of course.
He'd be furious. Julian Love would be furious. And it would be, this is a big story, but like, it would be a massive story. Giants would use it as, bulletin board material. So a couple of thoughts. One, as someone that, look, I've never done Good Morning Football or wherever he was on, but as someone that does media, you could tell he was like, he said it and then they were loving it and he like kept piling on. Like he got more and more into the take as he kept going.
Mm-hmm. He's like, you guys like this? Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
anyone could, free ride. Anyone could coach that team.
You guys could coach
exactly,
that team.
Right. Exactly. And then he tried to clean it up on Twitter, just saying like, well, the roster's so good. But Julian Love, again, aside, because
can I just say something real quick? I know that they played the Giants 3 times before this.
I
I never heard of Julian Love before yesterday. I never heard of the guy. I know they played him.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. You had such an impact in those games. I never heard of you before yesterday, Julian Love. And I wouldn't remember your name. It's Love. I love Love.
You do
I'm
love
a Love guy, not this Love.
You know who he is? Remember the Devontae catch against the Giants on the sidelines where someone like missed him? Like,
that's that guy.
That was Julian Love. Yeah. That was him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like could have.
Where he could have picked it off or hit him and he just completely missed. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
that guy.
Yeah. But here's the other thing.
38.
That was
the end of the season. Yeah, you're
52. Right. No, I'm talking about India.
Oh, that was the 40. Yeah, the 48 to 22.
Yeah.
God, the gall. You got your freaking ass whooped by this team. Like what an embarrassment.
Well, and also he's kind of taking a shot at his own roster because he's saying like, well, the Eagles roster is so good they don't need a coach. Like, but our trash roster, like you guys.
My guy coached here. He did a great
job.
See
the trash he's coaching. Like, it's essentially what he's saying, right? Like, if you're gonna say Brian Daboll's such an amazing coach and the job he did this year, and then be like, Nick doesn't barely need to coach. Well, then really, what are you saying about your teammates?
Yeah, it's great.
Like if I'm on the Giants and I see that quote, I'm like, well, what does he think of me? Like, does he think I'm a trash player? So there's that component to it. But the other thing, and this is really the beginning of what we're going to hear all week, is this, and we've talked about it, but just the incorrect notion that Nick Sirianni has a free ride, that he doesn't have to coach because of the roster. And really at that point, with that point, I'm almost tired of talking about it because it's such lazy, wrong analysis, but you're going to hear it all week. What really bothers me is the thing where people are upset at Nick about how he acts on the sideline, because I think it's incredibly hypocritical. Like, so in every walk of life, but let's just use football, for example, and we'll use Julian Love because he said he didn't like that clip of Nick where he's like shaking his head, whatever. So Julian, you're allowed to love your job a lot. You're allowed to play with passion. You're allowed to celebrate good plays. You're allowed to be upset when mistakes are made, but Nick's not. I know that Nick's not playing, but Nick is a head coach of an NFL team. He's worked his whole life to get there, just like Julian has worked his whole life to get there. I think Julian Love should be allowed to celebrate after plays. He should be allowed to show emotion. Why can't Nick? Like, I just don't get this criticism of Nick on the sideline. And you see it from other media members too. Like, oh, they don't like when he acts that way. Aren't we all supposed to be super invested in our job? Like, I know when me and you, and this sounds corny, but like, when me and you have a great open to the show, we'll like high five or hug or celebrate afterwards. Because it's like, that was a great opening, right? Yep. The only difference is we're not being filmed. Like, if you're in any walk of life, if you have a really great meeting and you come out of the meeting, you're like, I rock that. Yeah, exactly. Like,
way to go, man.
And keep in mind, we all feel different amounts of pressure. Nick is being watched by 50 million people and judged. So you're telling me when they score a touchdown, he's not allowed to release some emotion? It's dumb. Like, I don't get the policing of it. It's also silly because in general, a lot of media and a lot of fans do the whole thing where they throw a flag for like taunting. And everyone's like, oh, like the no fun league, like this is so lame. Like, oh, allow these. And then Nick does it. And it's like, an abomination to the game. Like, he has a camera in his face. What's he supposed to do? Sit there and be like, please guys, I'm coaching a game right now. Like, they just scored a touchdown. He's being surrounded by all of his teammates and coaches cheering, all of the stands going wild. And he's supposed to just like, I think it's so dumb. I think it's the definition of ripping somebody for like no reason. If anybody was in Nick's situation, first of all, if I was in Nick's situation, I'd be a mental mess the entire time. I know you.
Nick is doing nothing compared to what I would do on the sideline.
It's insane.
If I were the head coach of the Eagles,
I'd cry multiple times.
Every touchdown we scored, I would be the psychopath.
Yes,
running up and down this. Yeah,
right.
Way to go! honest. We've heard these guys talk about it. These players love it.
Exactly.
He's one of them.
Exactly.
He reacts like they react. He's invested in the game to the same emotional level they are.
Yes.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Also,
it drives me crazy.
How many times as a media, and I'm not going to include us in this because we don't do it, but how many times as a national media do they have to rip Sirianni for something only to be proven completely wrong before they give him the benefit of the doubt? Yeah. And again, nobody's above criticism. If they want to criticize Nick, do it. It's just be better at it. Like, if you're going to rip Nick this week, if you're someone that feels Nick doesn't do a good job, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll give you guys the cliff notes, the smart way to rip Nick. Well, he doesn't call the plays. That's if you want to really, say Nick's not.
And again, I think that's
and it's fine, but I'm saying
I think that's a poor way to rip him because I'm happy he doesn't.
I don't disagree, but I'm saying at least there's some validity and like interestingness to that. The interesting point is not, well, his roster is really good. Yeah, there's a lot of really good rosters. The Eagles have the best roster, but let's not act like the Chiefs have like trash roster. Let's not act like the Niners outside the court.
He also had to get the most out of that roster.
Right.
He also designed an offense for
100%.
his quarterback. He also puts his players in positions to be successful.
We saw it in the 49ers game, going for it on fourth down, right? Twice.
Totally. He's phenomenal in game. Like, this is, to your point, this is lazy.
But
it is uneducated.
Correct.
It is uneducated. It is ignorant. They are being ignorant of what this guy is doing. And again, to the whole point of like,
because they don't watch every snap every
right.
week.
But also just not paying attention, because again, all you have to do is look at this group of guys and the culture that they have there and the chemistry and what's been created. Like, they don't play awesome just because they're super talented. They play awesome because they play for each other.
And they're coached well.
And they're coached well, but all this stuff matters. The Nick stuff that we used to think was hokey, and it turns out is actually freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
The no bigger motivator than loving the guy next to you, not wanting him to let him down. Like at first when you think about it, it's like, oh, football and hooking and the guys like Julian
the flower
love.
thing. Yeah.
But you know what? No, it is profound. It is deep. He is tapping into emotion, tapping into things to get the best out of his players, to get the most out of his players. Like, he is doing stuff on a different level than a lot of other guys.
Yeah.
And honestly, it is ignorant. It is ignorant to look at it any other way. Like, honestly, I'm embarrassed for Julian. He should be embarrassed today. Well,
I'm sure he probably
football player, like,
the video,
football buddy. I guess not. I mean, we even heard it. We had real quick. We had Rodney McLeod on the show a couple of days ago on the midday show, and he was phenomenal. And they asked him about Nick, and he talked about this specific thing. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, those guys love each other. He's like, they play for each other. He's like, when it's a brother on a team, he's like, it's different. He's like, it's why we won the Super Bowl. It's different. He's like, that dude has fostered this here. Like, it's clear if you just look for it.
Yeah, no, I agree, but the Julian Love thing is not going to be a unique thing. You're going to hear it all week because now every media outlet in the country is talking about Nick Sirianni. So you're going to hear a lot of it. And it's just, we're going to talk about Super Bowl week and everything. That is one thing to expect. There's going to be a lot of lazy narrative around there about Nick Sirianni. And it's just unfair, and I do understand that people can't watch every snap of every game. But if you're not going to watch every snap of every game, and then you say something, and then you're told, hey, by the way, this isn't actually true, then admit you're wrong. It's been weeks about this of Nick Sirianni and again, his over under before the year was 9.5. They won 14 games. It was the biggest difference of any team in the NFL. So where is the logic of, well, Dable did more with less? Not really. So I don't know. It's just the beginning of it. Brandon Graham, like you said, clapped back at him yesterday. I'll be interested to see what Nick says about it. My guess is Nick won't say much of anything when he's asked about it. Yeah. But it's got to be frustrating to be Nick, and you get ripped for your introductory press conference. You get ripped when you're 2-5.
You're ripped along
and look, he's getting a lot of praise because deservedly so. But
in this city, to your point, we're here every day. We see him every day. Like, he is beloved now.
Yeah, he's beloved now.
As he should, and he's appreciated.
Right. It's like, look, I remember my first few years covering the Eagles, and maybe it was just the locker room, who knows? But players gave interesting quotes. Like, players would talk trash to their team. Players would show personality and do things. The longer I've covered the team, and the more people jump on every quote, the more people take things out of context, whatever, the less the athletes say, right? So and look at Doug. When Doug was first hired in 2016, ton of personality. By the end of the year, he was beaten down. I'm just begging people, don't do it to Nick, because Nick is so good at the podium. He shows personality. He cares. He's funny.
He's authentic.
And look, I don't know Nick as I don't hang out with Nick 5 days a week outside the workplace. I'm not going to say I know Nick super well, but my interactions with him, he's a nice guy that has right intentions. And I just think this whole, like, if you want the league to be fun, if you want to like see personalities and do all these things, then don't discourage people that do that. Because you know what's going to happen now? Nick's going to stop celebrating. And why? Because some people have no idea what he's going through or like what he feels when he's in that moment, want him to react a certain way. Like, it's dumb. So
I actually don't think he will, but I get your point. I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, he might not. I agree.
think he's the most authentic dude we've had. In
I
this
don't disagree with that.
Maybe ever. Like
it's just hard when you go like years
back to one of the first Go Bird shows, maybe the first one after the introductory press conference, and everyone's killing Nick, and not you. You didn't.
I'd be curious to go back and listen.
Yeah, we weren't impressed, but you were the one being like, hold up a sec, like let's not go crazy.
Right.
But the one who did the most was like from Southwest, calls in. He's like, that dude's genuine, man.
Yeah.
That dude's really being himself. I appreciate that, and that is borne fruit. That has turned out like the reason he is so loved is because those players know him. He's authentic with them. He's genuine. Like, and to the point we're making, his reactions on the sideline are genuine. Like, he's just being himself. He is, and let me tell you, as a clone of Nick Sirianni in terms of personality and the way we go about our life and in our
and the way you move your hands.
Like, he can't do it any other way. Like, any other way would be inauthentic. He would be forcing himself not to do it. Like me with my movements. I'm like, I can try and not shake my leg. Guess what? I have to focus on it and think about it. Like, my natural inclination is to be gregarious, to be kinetic and all that stuff. And I think that's how Nick is. And I think it would be really hard for him, like, to try and curb that. And like we said, he shouldn't.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So it's what you're going to hear all week.
Nick be
it's
Nick.
Wrong. It's
let Nick be Nick.
That might be the title.
I think that's the title. That's good.
It's wrong. It's lazy. And again, I think there's an interesting discussion to be had about the value of a head coach when the roster's so good. I think that if we could do that as a media group in like a smart way, it would be an interesting discussion to have. I just think the whole, well, he's got a good roster, so how hard's his job? Like, okay, like what's the next point there? It's like, so what, should they not have a coach? You know, like do they even need a coach at that point? And
Look,
unfortunate.
And shout out to Nick rubbing off on your guy, JG.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Go ahead. Well, go ahead. You want to take the floor on this one?
The video services of him coming in before the Niners game, just cursing me like we're going to bleep and beat them.
Well, I think what he said was we're going to gut these guys.
Gut these bleeping guys.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We're going to gut these bleeping guys. Like Philly, like Jonathan Gannon.
Oh,
welcome,
only he
sir.
blitzed more.
Welcome, sir.
Like,
you are now one of us.
Well, and also, you know, it's a great clip.
It is amazing just that a clip and everyone's like, God,
I know.
It's
well,
so easy. Like, it's so easy.
All you have to, exactly. But the other,
it's worth it.
Imagine if they would have got torched and that video comes out, right?
But you know what?
But then he's probably fired.
You know what? He wouldn't have been
No,
they made the NFC Championship game. They yes, if he had lost to a backup quarter in the way it played out,
I'm kidding.
Who knows?
I'm kidding.
But like, you know what? Like, shouts to him. Like, that's confidence in your group and in what you do to have the balls to do that, knowing that video is probably going to come out. And if you lose, you look like the biggest chump in the city.
Right.
Like, good for you, Jonathan. Like, honestly, it made me like him more.
Of course.
It's because I'm Philly and it is what it is. And I'm a sucker for it. But I liked him more.
Well, but also it's a good example of this, like, well, he doesn't run an aggressive defense. That doesn't mean
he's not aggressive.
Yeah, it just means he is doing what he believes is, and it's also wrong he doesn't run an aggressive defense, but whatever. Like, you know, it just shows he's doing what he thinks is best. Now, he has got a huge test coming up against the Chiefs. And the video timing, you know, who knows? But look, we said this when Nick defended him to Angelo, like, he's passed and they have not been tough tests. There's no denying that. But he's passed every test. He's allowed 14 points. I saw some stat that the last defense
2000 Ravens.
2000 Ravens.
The greatest defense maybe that I've ever seen.
Yeah, the last defense to allow 14 points before the Super Bowl.
Now they had to play 3 games, so little.
Okay,
I'm almost positive. Well, I don't know that for sure, but I'm almost positive. I can look it up.
It's completely different if so.
Let me double check it because that's just off the top of my head.
And I'll also be curious to remember who they played. Because at the end of the day,
well, they beat the Giants.
He did play Daniel Jones and Josh
here
Johnson.
We go.
Wow, you pulled that up quick.
Well, I just typed in 2000 Ravens.
I'm just saying, your service must be doing well.
I'm good like that. Okay, so they did play 3 rounds. So they wild card.
What'd they allow?
Championship. That's what I thought. So they won 21-3 24-10, 16-3, 34-7. So I guess
so that's more than 14 points.
Yeah,
16 points
in 3 games. So average less.
Maybe it was 2. Maybe. Oh wait, what was the last 2?
7.
Games?
So it'd be 20.
No. I mean, what were the divisional and the championship?
So the divisional championship were 13 total. So it was 10-3. So 3-10-3. So 16-3.
So it's
better.
It's better. The stat was probably the last.
It was the Broncos, the Titans, and the Raiders.
Yeah, the last team to allow fewer than 14
that
points.
That would have been John Ritchie's Raiders. How about that?
There you go.
Alaska
Shout out Richie.
Ravens D liked to play.
Yeah. Does that remind you of Gannon's? Yeah. Surprised he hasn't brought it up this year.
Now, is it basically the same as that 2000?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's good for Gannon. Like, look, at the end of the day, it's always a results-based business. Like, people are gonna be mad at him if his defense is bad, so it is what it is. But I do think after being really, really good this year, it probably feels good for Gannon to get some.
Yeah, I think you saw that in that clip, but even just him willing to do that, showing the motion.
I'm just shocked he did it.
Me too. Because he is reserved comparatively.
And also, what caused it? Like, did someone realize it was him? And he rolls his window down. It's not like he's walking down the street like, Gannon.
I don't know. I think he just was feeling it, man. He's giant game day. Ready to go.
And it also does show,
up, man.
It also shows that regardless of the quarterback, he clearly felt they were going to, like, I don't think he's saying that just to say it. I think he felt confidence in their game plan versus
of course,
that. Yeah.
He doesn't say that. Like, again, like,
I think he knew. Yeah.
He is putting himself out there. He has to feel super confident.
Yeah, 100%. And it just reinforces that even if Brock Purdy's healthy, I still think they win that game easy. They were just going to dominate that game.
I want to get into setting up Super Bowl week, but first, download the Bet Parks Sports Fantasy app. I mean, we're literally about to head into the biggest game of the year, the final game of the year, the big game.
It's the big game.
It's the big game.
You get it.
He gets it.
It's the big game.
Props. There's going to be all kinds of awesome props next week. So Elliot and I next week, because obviously there's no game to preview, so we won't go through the lines this week. But next week, not only will we pick the game and all that, but we're going to have some props. We're going to do like a big Parks picks, big game.
I mean, imagine going to a big game party and not having props down.
Exactly.
It's like, I can't wait to watch like the scheme of the defense. No, right?
And again,
no, I'm looking to see how long the national anthem's going to be.
And again, for only the second time since like really you can gamble, and really since gambling's been really legal, like this is the first time our team's been in it.
Yeah,
right? And like let's have some freaking fun, man.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. I guess in 2017 it wasn't. I didn't even really understand it.
That's what I mean. Now it's ubiquitous. Now you can download the Bet Parks app, boom, 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 like that. Go to Google Play, at betparks.com, the App Store, whatever.
App Store. I know it's in there.
Just go, boom, download, boom, it opens up. You go in.
And you're in.
Your first bet, $750 in site credit back if you don't win. Boom! So, this is like wins on top of wins on top of wins.
So everyone should make smart financial decisions. But imagine if you download the app, you put in $750, and you can bet $750 the day of the Super Bowl, risk-free.
Look at that. Wow.
It'd be one bet.
Yes. Site credit back.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
That is, yes. So the Elliot is a king of these reads.
Yeah.
But seriously, download the app. It is fun. It's intuitive. It's easy to use, and it's going to be so much fun to have next week. And of course, there's all kinds of other stuff. Basketball to bet on. Baseball's around the corner. All because soccer's coming back. All the good stuff. We'll be talking about it all year long. So download the app. Again, you must be 21 and present in Pennsylvania, New Jersey. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's set up the week because you are, less than 48 hours, right? Or about 48 hours from getting on a
booking
plane.
in early. So my flight leaves at 6:15 in the morning or something.
So less than 40. Yeah, 46 hours from flying away here.
Whenever you book an early flight, it's always like, this will be awesome. I'll get in early. And then when you're close, and then when you're close to it, you're like, oh my God, my alarm's gonna go off at like 4 a.m. Yep. It's very early, especially if it feels like today. It's the first real winter day too.
Yeah, it was cold out this morning.
Yeah. So
bone chilling.
And the Eagles will arrive in Arizona at 3 p.m. Arizona time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
On Sunday?
On Sunday.
Okay.
Yes.
So then all right. So Elliot Shore Parks.
I will be there with video.
Mr. Super Bowl.
Well, some people call me Elliot Airport.
Really? I thought that was no.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anyone else does it.
Oh, so no one's had that.
I don't think so.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think it might be my new bit. I might show up to airports and interview people.
No one's done
What do you?
that.
Look,
It would be
it's all about finding a niche.
It would be a really original, creative.
No,
bit.
shout out to the legend. Yeah.
Seriously.
But I will be at the airport when they arrive with video of it.
Oh, look at you. Okay, so obviously follow Elliot, all that stuff. Follow the pod. We're talking about
Yeah.
that. We'll be literally doing live pods still from Arizona. So we'll figure it out. There'll probably be some in the morning. There'll probably be some at 2 after my show. And it'll depend. Elliot's obviously got some obligations out there, but I'll wake up early. We'll make it all work for you. Either way, we'll be coming to you live every day next week as we continue our daily pods on the run to the Super Bowl. That was the whole bit, and we're going to stick with it.
It's reached the end, I will say. Like, again, we've said
this was the idea, the drive-in together thing. Like, this is the end of it.
Well, and
15 straight. Now, and we were on Friday or the Saturdays and Sundays too.
Yeah, so it's more like 19.
But like 15 straight days. Elliot Shore Parks and I have met up at 7 or today earlier in the morning
and recorded
and driven into the studio together like a.
And look, if
just a couple of pals
going
in to do their job.
It did make me think about people that carpool into work together.
Yeah.
Like that's what we've been doing essentially.
It's been delightful.
Yeah.
I'm sad it's gonna end.
Yeah, it is. Look, if they win though, maybe we'll do, like a Tuesday, Wednesday type of thing.
Before my life changes forever.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you're done sleeping in anyway.
Yeah, this is the end of it. Yeah, I gave it up for this. There was no way this was the end of it. I feel like you
left around the same time.
Yeah, a little more or less. Yeah.
Yes,
maybe a little bit more
sacrifices
hustle. There was
were
a little
made.
more hustle to the morning the last couple weeks than there normally would have been my last few weeks.
I don't think
all good.
I don't think a single morning I've been woken up by my alarm.
You're amazing like that.
Like I woke up this morning at 5:55
every single day. So.
Yeah. It's always tough to decide when you wake up early. Like, what's the time frame where you're like, okay, I'll go back to sleep versus, well, this is pointless.
Oh, well, so I always force it and I'm not gonna be able to anymore. But like I always
who knows?
I am the king of 5 minutes is not pointless, is what I mean.
Oh,
like,
really? So I'm like,
and I'm wrong. I know
even
it.
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
So I'll set my alarm for like 5:55 or whatever, and then I'll be like, I can go to 6:05. And I'll be like, I can go to 6:10. What's 6:15?
So does your alarm go off multiple times?
It keeps going off.
See, I don't know what Emily's wake up situation is.
They sleep through it. Or
they do? Okay.
Emily sleeps through it. So he'll climb into our bed in the morning, but she'll just sleep through it. So we're good.
Wow, good for them.
Yeah, it's good. Zoe's a super heavy sleeper, which is great.
Yeah.
Zoe sleeps like a rock. Like we can just have a conversation over her and she won't.
Well, she's got a stressful life, so
true.
When she got to get the rest when she can.
Tough 4-year-old. Yes. But yeah, so
they arrive Sunday.
So this has been a delight. We're sad it's over, but we're gonna keep doing daily pods.
Yeah.
So for you guys, face the same.
Keep them
So set the scene for us. Like tell us what is the week? You get out there Sunday. The Eagles get out there Sunday. What does the week look like for the Eagles?
Right.
For the Super Bowl, like set the scene for everyone who obviously will not be out there. Or the people who are going out there. Like let everyone know what it's like out there.
And a lot of people have DM'd us asking whether they should go or stay home. So maybe we'll talk about that in a minute. But so on Sunday they arrive at 5:00, and this is a good thing too. Arizona's 2 hours earlier. Remember that for everybody. So they arrive at 3 p.m. on Sunday. I think then they just go to their hotel, they check in, they might have like a team meeting that night to like go over all the information. But they don't have anything else Sunday night. Monday, the first thing they have media-wise is media night. So that'll be the big, that's like what everyone's used to seeing, where there's like the Nick Jr. people, all like those crazy media outlets, all those type of things.
Real quick, I have the list of Eagles.
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
So these are the Eagles, and you tell me if they're missing anyone or anyone you thought would be up there isn't. But so they obviously can only have a certain amount of number of players.
And it's an hour long. So I think it's
on the risers, as they say.
I think it's 8:00 our time.
8:00 our.
I think 8:00 Eastern time.
Okay, so here the following Eagles will be on the risers for Super Bowl media night on Monday. Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, obviously.
Yes.
AJ Brown, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, Michael Sanders. Miles
I think
Sanders.
it's Michael Scott for me.
I was going to. For some reason, Michael Scott was in my head there, but Miles Sanders, not Michael Scott on the podium. Can you imagine?
What a treat. He would be loving
What a treat.
I think there's one obvious one that's a little interesting.
So Devontae, you would think player wise, but also he doesn't seem like someone who would care that much.
He's also very quiet.
Like I wouldn't be shocked if they went to Devontae and they're like, "Hey, Devontae, like, do you care if you're on the risers?" And he was like, "No, not at all."
He might even be like, "I don't want to do it."
He might be like, "I don't want to do it."
I just do think
I think he's a more important player than Miles Sanders. Like he should be up there at Miles or whatever.
Now Miles is starting. Excuse me.
String running back and stuff, but still, like
this is the first time I've yawned on this whole time. But and I'm a big yawner.
Yeah,
so.
You've yawned before.
Yeah. And I do think in a season where they've had to do the delicate dance of it's a little interesting. AJ has one and Devontae doesn't, but I agree. Like There's only so many. He probably didn't want to do it. Devontae's not a big talker. He's a quiet guy.
Dallas was the only other one, but he's not a big talker either. He's the only other one.
Dallas would be good at it, though.
You would think would be warranting.
I feel like you have to put Mailata, Lane, and Kelsey. Like those are requirements.
So yeah, so you
have to put Hurts. You have to put AJ.
Yeah, you have to put Reddick.
Nick,
one
you
DB
put
there, and you have to put the classic guys, and you have to put Darius Slay.
Yeah, so what are they, 10?
So that's why I said Miles. Miles is the only one where you could argue one way or the other.
I agree.
Like I think the other guys are flat out locks.
Yeah, you're not doing Bradbury. I mean, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will be really good.
I thought about him too. But again, like I think Miles for Devontae or whatever. I think that's the spot. But I think the first ones are all just of course you do. Like you could argue Mailata not, but Mailata's the most character.
Well, Mailata's going to be one of the most.
He'll start singing.
Oh my
god! They have to have him.
You know how many people are going to ask him to sing?
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if the NFL said you have to have Mailata.
Yeah, I think the NFL probably had some say for sure.
What do you mean? Probably, of course they did.
Yeah.
Freaking product.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. They probably decided.
I am sure they gave. I'll bet you they gave a list of Eagles, like 15 players who they were allowed.
Who like these are the ones?
And
yeah,
the Eagles went from there. Would be my guess. So these guys will be on the stage Monday night at media night. Obviously, we all know the crazy questions.
Yeah, it'll be all that stuff. Yeah.
That stuff, right?
So then I think there'll be a moment where they like meet on stage. They did this in 2017, where like Nick shook Tom Brady's hand. People love that, and like they like did questions together. So maybe there'll be that. The Chiefs are next, so they'll do
Jalen and Patrick. I could see that.
Jalen and Patrick, Nick and Andy. It'll be good. Tuesday I believe Tuesday. I think they might practice like almost every day, or they'll walk through some days. But Tuesday they talk. They have media obligations with us. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday they have media. Those will be more like normal-ish. Like there'll be a ton more media, so there'll be guys at tables and podiums and stuff. But it won't be like I'm not gonna see them practice. I'm not gonna
see a walkthrough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see wherever they practice. They'll be at the Cardinals thing. I'm 99% sure. There'll be a pool reporter, but I think
they are gonna be at the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They'll be at the Cardinals in Kansas City,
Arizona State. Yeah. Yeah. So
because we were the home team, do we get to like choose first? Because you
probably
prefer the pro to the. I mean,
although I don't know honestly.
Who
yeah.
knows?
And then Friday there's nothing. Saturday, obviously the day before the game, and then Sunday. They play the game. They play the game. So, but there'll also probably be a lot of things like, Jason Kelsey, I think, is doing a live pod with Travis Kelsey. Like, you will see players like.
By the way, I listened to some of it. It's very good.
It's unbelievable. Like, it's unreal how good it is.
Don't listen to any other pods, but if you want to check it out, that's fine.
Yeah.
But not at our expense.
Yeah, listen to us
first.
It's
a long listen. It's too long. 2 hours.
It is long. I think it's probably because they do it once a week. Come on. It's long. It's a long pod.
I'm saying 2 hours because we do like 50-minute pods daily.
Yeah, I mean, we do, 4 hours a week or whatever.
Yeah.
More than that, actually, with Go Birds Radio. But, yeah, so I think, so today is Friday. They're going to practice today. They have a walkthrough tomorrow. This will be, the time where they get the most in. And then next week they'll practice for sure. Like, they'll do work and have meetings and all those things. But next week will be the difference. It will be, the different feeling of doing all that. So.
Well, so when we had Rodney on a couple of days ago, we talked about that. And he talked about how important it was for them that they tried to keep everything exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like they did their Saturday night team dinner the way they normally do. They practiced at the same time. They tried to he's like, it really did feel for us like as much as possible.
And
a normal week. I'm assuming that'll be the attempt from the
Well,
Eagles.
and look, the Chiefs have this as well because they've been through it. But it isn't, it's a value that Howie has been there. Now the coaching staff, not a lot of them.
No,
but they can talk to Howie and
also,
the leaders on the team, Kelsey, Lane, all those people.
Important people
Yeah,
on the team.
but I also think
and
even
Stout was here for it too.
Even just we talked about this earlier in the week, but even just the fact that a lot of people in the organization have been there in terms of planning everything, it's a second run through. I mean, even for me and you, we've been through a Super Bowl coverage, so we know better what to expect, how to handle it. I think that matters for the Eagles. Now, again, the Chiefs have done it too. So they have that.
Done it quite a bit.
Yeah. The Chiefs have done it twice. Andy's done it multiple times, right? So they have that advantage too. But if you want to look at experience in a Super Bowl, it obviously favors the Chiefs. But it does help that the Eagles have a not insignificant amount of people on the team and the organization that have been through.
Look, they have way more when you include organizationally, way more than did it in 2017 that worked back then. And again, they were going up against
none,
and they were going up against if you want to talk organizationally and team,
like their standard year.
Like 95% of the people who are a part of that are on the field and off had played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So are going through a Super Bowl thing or multiple.
And again,
so again, I think experience is. I'm not going to totally say experience doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form, but I think we know that experience is not a reason that
and look, Jalen's playing in big games matters,
Yep.
right? Like all those
like
things.
We've said
So
many times.
yeah.
In terms of just eyes on you, like, yes, the Super Bowl is the biggest, but in the moment, it can't feel that much bigger than playing in the national championship.
No, or
game,
or
right?
like even Alabama Auburn, like, you know,
similar, or yeah, like even the SEC championship game or whatever. It's got to be like at least somewhat similar.
Yeah, I think Jalen will be fine.
I think honestly, the weirdest thing is with the Super Bowl is it doesn't feel like a normal game, not from a too much hype in the stadium.
I agree.
I feel like normally you're just used to like fans going crazy one way or the other, whereas this is kind of like a mix. And sometimes it could be sterile, and I saw some like business people there or this or that. It doesn't have that.
Yeah, 100. Yep, 100.
I mean,
well, they're super expensive.
You would be able to no, but better than I would.
Yeah, but
you've heard a million times.
Yeah, and it's true. But I saw this tweet. I think it was from Dan Orlovsky of all people, saying something like 4 times as many tickets have been sold in Pennsylvania as Missouri. So I do think you're going to see a lot.
I think so too. Yeah, why wouldn't they? Again, we just talked about this. They've been there, what, 3 or 2? This is their 3rd time since we went. Like, just in the last couple of years, like fans show up for that first one in a big way, but then when they're another and another, like we've had a gap. Eagles fans already love to travel.
Yeah.
And
now they are silly expensive.
They are, but also think about with just one, how many Eagles fans didn't get to go to that last one who wanted to this time? Maybe that's a good time to get into it. Great segue. Purposeful.
Not purposeful.
I know.
Yeah.
So the people who reach out and saying if they should go, I think it's obviously a very personal decision in a lot of ways, and you can't go wrong. Here's what I'll say from my perspective. And again, I am not going, but if I could have gone,
this should be, you go ahead.
I would have gone this year. So I didn't want to go in 2017.
Well, now, just to be clear, are you saying you would have gone as a media member? Or are we talking about?
No, I'm saying if I were a fan and
and you could afford it.
So 2017,
right?
Yeah, and you could, of course.
No, well, I think that's part of the discussion.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You can't afford it. Don't.
Right. Yeah.
My point is that in 2017. Like this, regardless of my job, like as a fan in 2017, I wanted to be here. Like I didn't want to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, obviously, like if someone offered me a free ticket, you never know what happens. But like I didn't want to go to the Super Bowl. I wanted to be here for it because I thought we were going to win, and I wanted to go to City Hall. I wanted to feel what Philadelphia felt like the first time the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Like I preferred to be here. I did that. It was amazing, and it'll be amazing again. But this time, since I got that opportunity to experience it here and be a part of it here, I would love to be in the stadium and see what it's like to go to a Super Bowl and go to the Eagles
see what it's like.
So my advice would be, if you feel really good about your experience here last time, if you feel like you got to do go to City Hall or hang with your friends or Frankfurt and Cottman or whatever your version of what I was at the Fillmore. I watched the Super Bowl with thousands,
dude, in the Fillmore
literally
unbelievable.
Thousands of Eagles fans losing our minds, having the best time together. And then we all paraded to City Hall. We're out all night celebrating. Like it was a perfect night. It was one of the 3 to 4 greatest nights of my life, without a doubt. It's like that, Zoe being born,
McSorley's.
McSorley's, that's it. We're done. That's the lineup.
That's the list,
So like the Bryce Harper home run, I'll talk about
the night we got stuffed crust pizza.
But literally one of the great nights of my life, and I got that experience, and it'll be great again here. But since I had that way, if I had a choice this year, if it was in front of me and I could afford it and whatever, I would go to the Super Bowl.
So look, I think that a big part of this discussion is about money, and realistically, it's just something where if you actually think you can spend $12,000 on 2 tickets to go, then it would be awesome. I'm not disputing that. But here would be my advice. If you're listening to the pod and you're saying, man, I really want to go to Arizona, but let's be honest, dude, I certainly wouldn't spend.
I couldn't afford.
Right, exactly,
I
right.
Would
so
need my company to send.
Right, there's literally no shame, right? But
I have a 4-year-old daughter.
Yeah, it's a ton of money, a ton of money, right? But I do think a good workaround for this would be this. I think if you want to go to Arizona, be a part of it. Look, it feels like winter outside. I would fly in Wednesday or Thursday, right? Well, first I'll check out fans of Philly, but that's obvious. I would fly in Wednesday or Thursday. I would fly back Tuesday because the flights are cheaper. So you would be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then you fly out Tuesday. I would find an Eagles bar or a tailgate. Again, fans of Philly. But I would find those things. But I think there'd be something cool about just being in the city, and it'd be okay not going to the game because there'll be a lot of people that are there that are not going to the game. Sure. So I agree with your point. The cool part is being in the stadium. That would be awesome for sure. But there is a coolness too about just being there, seeing all the Eagles fans, seeing the Super Bowl stuff. I think there's a lot of different
Hurts and Mahomes banners.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there'll be there'll be events where players, not current Eagles probably, but former Eagles will probably be out there, all those things.
Probably.
Yeah, they will.
They
for
will
sure.
definitely-
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
I just don't know who the list
Right,
is.
of course,
like,
but they will be out there.
100%.
Stuff will be happening.
Yeah, Corey Clement, I think I've seen is going to be out there.
Events happening. There'll be stuff happening. And to your point, like there'll be a bunch of look. It's always fun when there's a bunch of Eagles fans in a different city
Exactly.
together.
Yeah.
Like it's just,
dude, I've seen it in every city. I can't imagine.
That's where
for the
you say
Super
"Go
Bowl.
Birds" there.
Exactly.
Like, go Birds, go Birds.
So I think that I agree with you that like being in Philly would be unbelievable. But I don't think it's if you're going, you have to go to the game.
Sure.
I think there's you can go.
There will be enough fans watching.
Yeah.
The game. It'll be the same. If you were going to watch at a bar here, you could watch at a bar there and
have a tons of fans. Yeah. And so like, and be real, are you really going to run to City Hall? So that like a small portion of population will be doing that. So
maybe not that small, but yes.
Well, but I'm saying comparatively, like, so if you don't want to spend $12,000 on tickets, I think that's fine. I still think you could go and have a good time.
Okay.
Is my opinion.
Okay. What is the single thing that you are most looking forward to outside of the game of Super Bowl week? If you had to pick one thing.
It's a good one. I mean, honestly, I'm really looking forward because, like I said, last time I didn't work at WIP, so I'm really looking forward to being on Radio Row. And I was thinking it'll feel like home a little when I'm on the air and people like, Tom from Abington, OG Wade, like, Justin from Tennessee, like all these people, when like I talk to them, I feel like it'll feel like I'm back in Philly. So I'm excited for that. I mean, I definitely want to try to meet up with Eagles fans. So I'm excited for that too. Yeah. I mean, I'm just excited to be a part of everything with WIP. Like I'm excited to do the Super Bowl show, but I'll also say for people that obviously don't work at WIP, like the Super Bowl experience is super cool. The stuff is very expensive. They definitely jack up the prices of like the jerseys and stuff. I don't think anyone would be surprised. No, but the Super Bowl experience is cool. There's a bunch of like free concerts. It's just cool to feel the buzz of like, being
Super
there.
Bowl, especially with the Eagles in it. Like I'm sure it's cool to go to the Super Bowl period.
Yeah.
But you like to go to the Super Bowl with the Eagles in it.
It's again, it's like
life experience.
All the people I'm sure I'll see Go Bird listeners out there. So all those things.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Next week it's gonna be real.
It's gonna feel really real.
It's been super fun and like the juices are bubbling and we're starting to get excited and this and that. But like next week it's like go time.
Well, it's gonna be wild.
We're gonna be previewing the game. We're gonna be like talking Chiefs Eagles. Like it's gonna be.
All right. Here's another.
I'm so excited. Man.
Another thing.
So
I listened to the.
Feeling it. Chills, guys.
I know he's getting the chills.
Guys. Get excited.
I listened to the "Just Wanna Rock" by Lil Uzi Vert.
Yes.
So
it's funny that I didn't know that was the name of it.
Yeah. So like
because of the Kelsey brothers.
Yes.
Did I
listen to the wrong song or are there no words?
Dude, who are you talking to?
I know, I know, but
I know the name of the song now, and I know the name Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
No idea.
All right, so I listened to what I believe is the version on Apple, and like, unless I zoned out for 2 seconds, I didn't hear any words. So just put it out. If people want to send me the correct link, I don't think I hit the instrumental. Like,
my old take is I'm just disappointed because I was going to call myself Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, that was
once upon a time.
Lil Uzi Seltzer.
You beat me to it.
It's all right.
I feel like I could pull that off.
Yeah,
right?
You could. I agree. You have similar characteristics.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm excited. You got anything else? I got like a list of final, not really a list, but I got multiple final.
Talking about Eagles things. I mean,
any other Eagles things before?
I do think it's like there's gonna be no McCole Hardman, kind of noteworthy. Right?
Is he definitely not going to play?
Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid said he's not going to. He's doubtful.
In that last game, they lost Juju, Tony, and
and they're both like banged
Hardman
up.
in that game. They also lost Willie Gay, I believe, defensively.
Not practicing.
Legarius Sneed.
Yeah,
were two defensive starters.
Sneed is like easily their best corner too,
like
by a mile.
And not just that, he's versatile. He can play in the slot. He moves around for them. Like,
it is crazy. They start 2 rookies outside of that.
It's wild.
Yeah,
like they're
And McDuffie's good, but
he's good. He's first round pick. What do you know about those injuries, actually? Because
nothing.
Okay, so that's next week.
Well, no, but I just don't
they're not practicing.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have to do an injury report this week.
But what's tough is the Eagles are putting out an injury report, and like Lane and Avante and all, like, but I know they're playing, so it's tough. Now I saw on chief reporters being like these guys might be actually hurt, but I think we're too far away to know.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree, but it is.
But look, the receivers aren't even that great.
It's noteworthy. We're talking those guys. Like it'd be bad to lose them, but like they're not that great.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to be in Sky Moore and MVS. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have lots of thoughts on that.
Yeah. Next week we're diving into this
I
game.
know.
We're talking games, buddy.
Yeah. I'm really excited to get into the game.
Me too. I know. Elliot has
every day. Yeah. It's
every
okay.
day he's like, I've done a lot more.
Can I give one stat?
Of course you can. Yeah. Like tease the week, buddy.
Okay. So did you know that the Eagles are 31st in the league against stopping passing running backs, and that the Chiefs are number 2 overall in using their running backs?
You mean not passing running backs in the passing game?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
passing running back sounds like
receiving running backs.
Throwing the ball.
The Eagles are 31st in the league at stopping receiving running backs.
Really?
Like when the running back catches a ball, they're 31st in the league.
I feel
like they never do it.
I feel like that could be skewed a bit by third and longs and short little dump offs to running backs where they get like 16 yards, but it's not enough for a first.
Yeah, and they're playing prevent and
stuff. I feel like we've seen a lot of
It's a good point. It's a good point.
I think that would be worth looking into the stat a little bit more.
Yeah,
because I feel
you're
like
right. There's probably
that
context
specific play a bunch of times.
It's a good point. The Chiefs are number 1 in the league at pass block win rate, which was shocking to me.
They got a good O-line.
They have a really good O-line.
I know. It's the best one.
You know what the craziest stat is? The Eagles are like 20th in the league in sacks allowed.
Yeah.
Weird, right? I don't remember any game where it's like he got sacked.
No, but I think there are plays where when he gets taken down behind the line, either on like a read option or whatever, those will be called sacks because he has the ball, like, because they're not always design runs.
Right.
Like, I think there'll be plays.
I was surprised by that.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too, but I think that all kind of leads to it. Look, we know we're not too worried about, Jalen getting sacked a ton. I mean, you never know. Chris Jones playing, but man.
So anyway,
Eagles are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
No, not on the game.
It's Friday. We got in early today because for those who don't know, Friday are my biggest prep work day. I got beat the hammer day, I got drop of the week. I got a lot of stuff where it's like all on me to get everything ready for it. So we came in early today.
Yeah, we did.
And we did great. It's 7:51. We're normally not like 8:10. This is amazing.
Perfect.
What a win.
Perfect.
We might take till 8:10 to get through my final thoughts and all that.
Yeah.
No, they're not that many. Final thought.
You can go first.
Okay, so I have multiple Zoe final thoughts, and then I also just have a last final thought. So I'll do the Zoe stuff first.
Okay, go ahead. The daily Zoe.
I figured, you know what? Here's this is purposeful that like it's just been so much Zoe. I was like, it's been a theme. I figure
it's a good theme, yeah.
So I'll give you 2 Zoe quotes and then something awesome about Zoe that happened. So last night, and she trailed off towards the beginning of the first part of this quote. She said embarrassing somewhere near. I don't know how it happened. So I'm just gonna go with the part I remember.
It's a big word.
So I'm trying to put her to bed last night, and I'm like, all right, bedtime or whatever.
Right.
All right, Zoe, time to go to bed. And she goes, sometimes I pretend I'm Snowflake the Snuggle Cat, and I like when you throw the pillow off the bed. And then she like trailed off and said something about embarrassing. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, all right,
cool. Good night, Snuggle Cat. Yeah. And then she looks at me deadpan and goes, I'm not a Snuggle Cat right now. I'm a princess fairy. Pauses and then goes, I have wings. Why?
It's a good question
to think about. That was pretty much the end of the conversation.
It's a good question to think about.
These are the things that I like.
What are the purpose of the wings?
Hilarious.
What are the purpose of the wings?
Deadpan. She's like, I'm a princess fairy. What are you talking about? Like, why would you think I was a Snuggle Cat right now? Because you just told me sometimes you're a Snuggle Cat and Snowflake. Also, in much funnier stuff, I mentioned this last night with Fritz when I was talking to him, but I said she likes when you do that. Like that kind of thing, your mouth.
They're probably good for the pod, yeah.
Fart noises with your mouth, and I was like, Zoe, so she was making me do wishes, or she was like, dude, she's watching the show, I guess at some point where she's Shimmer the genie at this point, so we're not Snowflake or Princess Fairy. Zoe loves to pretend to be many different things.
Yes.
But she was this genie, and she was granting me wishes, and she had this whole thing where she's like, second wish of the day, and then she like clap her hands.
What'd you wish for?
So the one time I wished, because she kept making me wish. I did like 1,000 things. I was like, I wish for world peace.
I'll say this. If you're going to get wishes, the best outcome is they keep asking for more wishes.
Another wish. So I was like, I wish that Zoe, and she's like, Shimmer, I'm Shimmer. I was like, right, sorry. I wish that Shimmer does a fart noise with her mouth. And she does her whole like, second wish of the day.
All right.
And then she looks at me and goes, fart. I was like, joking. That was actually really funny.
That was good. That was well done by her.
And then the good news is, Zoe got into the school we wanted to get her into.
I don't know if you wanted to bring that up. Yeah. It's got to be a huge relief. It's probably why she's sleeping so well.
Dude, we were so stressed. So we live in the city, obviously, unfortunately.
Expensive and tough,
And certainly at this age, there are certain schools you look at and stuff. And she's going to be starting next year.
Boom.
Very excited.
She nervous?
Huh?
She nervous?
No, she can't wait.
Yeah,
she keeps talking about her new school, how excited she is
Nice.
about her new school, all that, which was very nerve-wracking because we had to like take her to visit and do all this stuff before.
Right.
Very nerve-wracking when she was talking about how excited she was for her new school when she was not yet in her new school.
Yes.
That was part of the reason we were so happy that she did get into her new school.
A relief.
Yes, a relief. Okay.
Very nice.
Final thought.
So I'm watching Poker Face.
Yes, right. Love it. So I'm
very good. It's not a spoiler, okay. But so one of them
people should watch Poker Face.
It's very
terrific.
good.
Yeah.
One of them takes place in a retirement home.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm nowhere near the age where I'm going to go to a retirement home. But I think it looks like a ton of fun.
See, all right.
So I look at these retirement homes.
This is you nailing the joke. Jody Cameron said the same thing.
Oh, really?
I have a retort.
So, all right, think about this, right? It's literally like going back to college. Like you live in essentially a dorm. And I know that all are different. So this is a broad take, but the ones you see on TV, I should say, and the ones you see
I think this is a broader take than you realize. Most retirement homes are horrific and it's really, really, really sad. Like it is really sad. So Emily has worked in many retirement homes. Like she did a lot of earlier in her career, a lot of geriatric work and like studies on geriatrics and like aging and stuff like that. And she had a lot of dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff. And it's not fun. And like I know what you're talking about.
The version
there
of the
probably
TV.
are retirement communities like in Florida, there's that are a good time.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there are, and there, but like as a grand sweeping statement, I would guess the vast majority are not as much fun as you
I mean, look, the overall
but there are like
theme
really
of
nice,
it is
fun
not
retirement communities. There totally are. There totally are.
Yeah. So I think
So
as with everything, there's
those
good.
ones look awesome.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I would do that in a second.
Yeah, like
a nice
you go
one,
from just being
hanging
old
out with all your buds.
Yeah, they like look, and this is just the show, but like they take you to the zoo, you play bingo. There, you like it looks like if you would embrace it, it looks super fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's as a sweeping statement, not great, but
it's also probably, I mean, it's your last chance for a lot of things because you're old. But like you think about early in life, you go to school for the first time if you're Zoe, you go to camp, you go to college, you go to high school. After that, like there's not really a ton of places where you go and it's like, hey, everyone, let's all become friends. You have your work, but
let's all become
this
friends.
Is like the first opportunity you've had in a long time when you're in a retirement home to go somewhere and be like, hey, I have a new next door neighbor. Like, so I think it looks fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make sure I go to a fun one.
I do think the fun ones look pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So last things. I had one more Eagles thought. Did you realize I saw this a graphic and I didn't think about it. It's obvious, but AJ Brown, the only starter.
Yes, I had this screenshotted. I'm happy you brought it up.
Only starter on offense that wasn't drafted.
Yeah.
Like
shout out Howie.
Right though.
Yeah.
Like all the
well, especially compared to the Chiefs.
Right? The Chiefs had like 5 stars.
4 or 5, yeah.
It's like pretty wild, man.
It is wild.
Just like thinking about this pod and the history of the pod and the conversations we've had.
Right.
Like, it's pretty awesome.
And the defense, I mean, the secondaries, 3 out of 4 are signed. We're not drafted, but the defensive line, Fletcher.
Yeah, other than Reddick.
Brandon, Sweat, Milton. Yeah, Hargrave wasn't signed here, right?
Dudes, but like offensively, it is pretty
The linebackers
amazing
were all,
how great
Kaiser
done.
wasn't,
yeah,
but TJ and
amazing
Nakobe.
how great they've done.
Yeah. He's good at drafting. I've said this. He's good at drafting. There's this perception that all these other teams are like nailing all these picks. Like everybody misses picks. Howie just hits on more of them than other people.
That's the only takeaway.
Dude, I saw a tweet yesterday, really quick. Like we talked about this, but the fact that in that 2018 draft with 5 picks, he essentially got 4 Pro Bowl talents.
And then
a
guy who's a starter. Like he's not a starter here, but Matt Pryor has started in the NFL. Like to have 5 picks and all 5 be NFL players, period.
And not just like all pro type players.
No,
Avante is tough because it's like the nickel, but
he's still really good.
But Mylotta, Goddard, Sweat are all pro talents. And Avante is too.
Maybe like a Pro Bowl for Sweat. I don't think
that's a good point.
Quite there yet. Yeah. But like you could say Mylotta all pro talent. You could certainly say
100%.
Goddard all pro talent. That's pretty well. And I think that he has a chance he gets all pro talent.
Sweat. Well, he had like 12 sacks this year. So it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think Avante's as good, one of the better nickel corners in football too.
Yeah.
It's a
great draft.
Shouts to Howie, man.
Yeah.
Shouts to Howie.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
What a guy! Who cares?
No, I'm kidding. Yes.
Who cares? We had a great point too on the midday show, and I will. I've still yet to get over the fact that I don't watch Justin Jefferson in an Eagles uniform every week. But like, he made a great point. He's like, if Howie takes Justin Jefferson, Wentz probably doesn't suck as much.
Yeah.
Things probably don't play out this way where Hurts gets the chance when he does, and we're here now. And I was like, you know what? I was like, dude, it's like, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Colin Washington Township. It was someone where I was like, yo, I was like, no joke. This is the best anyone has ever made me feel about that.
So you're basically saying give Rager a ring.
You know, whatever it took to get Jalen here and to get Jalen on the
and
field.
AJ and
really,
Devontae. I mean, they don't draft Devontae if they
Shouts
draft
to
Justin
the
Jefferson.
And shouts to this freaking community and this podcast. We started the week with love. I want to end it with love.
Yes. It's been an awesome week.
This is nothing for us without you.
Yeah.
Like the pod, this experience, the run. Like,
lots of really good comments, by the way. I know you don't look, but lots of.
But like we're getting tweet, people are reacting to what we're doing. Like that's all. Like it's just two buddies hanging out talking about a football team that they love. Fun. Like it is. You know,
makes it easy to get up.
It's humbling. It is humbling to think that anyone hangs out with us and does, you know, is along this ride with us. It is.
Well, and it's why you say like, what's my part I'm looking forward to the most? Like
meeting people, doing the thing,
taking callers. Like it's such a different experience in 2017.
It's the best part of this whole thing. So thank you, and we're excited to continue the ride, man. We got another week to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be awesome. So. I almost hit the table.
I know you did. Good job.
I didn't.
You wanted to. It only took 5 days.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow on WIP.
1 to 3.
At Parks, come say hi if you're in the area.
Yeah.
Otherwise, 1 to 3, and then Elliot off to Arizona.
We'll be fine.
Figure something out for Sunday. And
gotta go clothes shopping the day for the clothes.
You'll crush it.
I know.
And then Monday, daily pods, whenever they are.
Yes.
We'll let you guys know. So Super Bowl,
here we
man.
Here we go.
In the Super Bowl. All right. He's like, hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Let's see what we got up in here. Lots of comments again, which is very nice.
Lots of comments.
Scott, good morning.
Zaid.
Elliot looks way cooler with the hat.
He looks cool with the hat. Yeah.
It's a good look on me.
It is a good look on him.
The pod makes it more memorable. Thank you very much. We agree.
Really nice. Thank you so much.
Devontae, come get your son. He's misbehaving again. I'll talk about Julian.
Real quick on Scott's comment. I really hope so, buddy.
What?
He's asking, is the success of the Eagles the start of a dynasty in the city? I'm
not
going to get ahead of dynasty.
Dude, the Sixers are unbelievable.
But yeah, the Sixers are good. And like, again, look, think about it this way. For me personally, I've been working in this business for like 11 years, 11 and a half, almost 12 years, whatever it is. And I've covered one Super Bowl. I've been a part of that's it. Like, there's been no other championship apperances in the last.
think about you, like Philly's back to back.
That's what I mean. That's my point. Now we got 2 in 4 months. Like it's
it is insane. Do the pod 365, 24 hours a day. Agreed. Definitely need a post Super Bowl podcast. Obviously, we're going to have a post Super Bowl podcast.
Obviously, buddy.
Nick's talking to people in their 20s. He communicates to his audience. Very true.
Like that. Who's doing the anthem? I don't know. Have they announced who's doing the anthem?
I'm sure they have, but I don't know off the top of my head. Rihanna's the halftime show.
That's a good get.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know me, a big.
Well, I remember in 2017, Justin Timberlake did it, and he dropped shoes at halftime that you could buy, and I tried to buy them, and I didn't get them.
Probably a win in hindsight.
Yeah, probably, but it would have been cool. People are guessing. Shout out to Scott, really up in here.
Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Random Anton, really up in there.
Zaid, I feel like I'm mispronouncing that wrong.
Could be Zaid or Zaid.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
All right,
Zed,
guys.
It could be Zed too.
I appreciate they're all talking. That's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. You guys are the best, Peachy.
Elliot, with the success of the Eagles and Phillies. Oh, we already got this.
Elliot should go 100%.
I know. I'm deciding the suit today. So I assume Jalen Reagor gets a ring. I don't think he does. He was here in training camp.
I don't know how it works.
I don't think it's training camp because then you're giving like 90 rings out.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know.
Although he did make the initial 53.
So they probably get a ring.
It'd be really funny if he came to the Super Bowl party.
Well, especially because like that would get out eventually that Reagor got a ring.
Oh, it'd be hysterical.
I mean, again, like we said this
give it
before.
to him. Who cares? Like,
look, Howard Eskin's gonna have 2 Super Bowl rings when the Eagles win. Yeah, of course, but like
all right,
don't
guys.
give Reagor a ring.
Appreciate everybody.
Yeah, you are.
See you guys next week.
Thank you.